Hello, hope you're having a great day. Today I'm starting the video almost at the end of a very busy Saturday. It's actually coming up to 10 to 9 in the evening. Now this morning I utterly flopped to get out of bed at 7:30, and I pretty much have been every day for quite a while now, at least this week. And look, it's Saturday. My girlfriend done night shifts this week, so most people would say that it's perfectly justified to have a bit of a lie-in with your girlfriend on a Saturday morning. But I can't look at it like that, because my mind's always trying to make excuses for me to stay in bed. So I have to look at it as a flop. Also, when you think about it, last night before I went to bed, I was at that point hoping that I would get up at 7:30 today and attack the day. So that means it's kind of irrelevant if I wake up in the morning and then persuade myself that it's justified to lay in bed. I didn't lay in bed till 8:30, 8:45 or whatever it was this morning, because my girlfriend's been on nights, and because I wanted to lay in with my girlfriend. I laid in bed and didn't get out of bed at 7:30 because I'm inherently lazy. And the fact that it was Saturday, the fact that Kat has been doing nights this week, they were just the excuses that my mind used to justify it at the time and keep me in bed. So yeah, I do need to do better in the mornings, but I'd rather fail and then sort of call myself out on it and accept it as a failure, even if it happens every day for the rest of my life. If I want to get up at 7:30 and I fail, I'd rather keep failing and keep seeing it as a failure, rather than, keep failing and then just keep trying to justify it, because ultimately then I'll just stop trying to get up early, and that'll just be a step towards me going back to my old ways. And if I take too many of those steps, going back to my old ways, back to making excuses for not trying my hardest every day, then ultimately at the end of that road is me in the gutter taking drugs again. So I have to see it as a failure, me not getting up at 7:30 and attacking the day. Now, to be fair, I have been staying up a bit late during this week. Whilst Kat wasn't here and she was doing nights, I was sitting up till midnight, or sometimes just gone midnight, most of the time editing or answering comments or emails or whatever. So being productive, but that's still not an excuse. I need to get to a situation, whatever it takes, where I can get up at 7:30 every morning. And ultimately my dream is to be able to get up even earlier than 7:30 every morning. But there's no point me thinking about that until I can sort of crack getting up at 7:30 every morning. And it seems to sort of go in waves at the moment. I do sort of well for a few days or a few weeks or whatever, and then I end up flopping for whatever reason. And yeah, that's what I did this morning. But as I keep saying, it might seem like I'm really hard on myself, but I am overall grateful that I am in the best shape of my life, and I'm living a way better life than I used to. It's just that one of the things that I've always really flopped on, since I was at school, was getting up on time. And yeah, that's still something that is a real battle for me now, even though my life now is way more productive and way more better than it ever has been. But anyway, once I did get up, I sort of talked myself out of going for a walk around the block, which again, at the time, it was sort of justified, or my mind justified it, because, I didn't really have much time before I needed to eventually go to boxing at 12 noon like I do on a Saturday. But ultimately, it still would have been better for me to spend that 20 minutes going for a walk around the block, but I didn't. But I did, write in my gratitude journal and have a meditation session before then having breakfast with Kat. And it's funny, actually, because Kat sort of suggested, today we'll have a bit of a bigger breakfast. We used to do that once a week, but yeah, I haven't done it for ages. I normally have 4 poached eggs on 1 slice of toast with a load of cheese on top and loads of sliced chicken. That's what I have every day for my breakfast, as well as a cup of coffee, as well as a protein shake with my creatine supplements in there, and all my other supplements that I have, vitamin D, loads of turmeric capsules, which have also got a little bit of vitamin D in them. I have fish oil capsules. I have a couple of multivitamins, and yeah, that's it, apart from a vitamin C supplement that I have when I first wake up, when I have my loads and loads of water. But anyway, yeah, Kat suggested we have a big breakfast today, and I thought, yeah, that was a good idea. So along with my poached eggs, we had bacon and beans, And yeah, we was eating that at about 10, half 10, I think it was. And then when I was in my boxing session, I kind of realised that was a bad idea. Like, way more chance of me being sick in my boxing session when I've got a really full stomach like that, because the boxing sessions are really intense. But as usual, boxing was really, really good today. Absolutely loved it. It was with Coach Joe, so done a bit of technical stuff and then ended up doing some head sparring. And yeah, I felt like I'd done pretty good at head sparring today, to be honest. There was 6 of us in total doing head sparring. 2 of them were youngsters, like 17-year-olds. So it was interesting sparring against younger lads, lads that are a bit smaller than me, a bit lighter than me, less reach than me, but way fitter, way quicker, way more awkward to hit and stuff. So that was interesting. But yeah, felt like I didn't get humbled quite as much as I have in the past. Obviously it all depends on if I'm having a good day, and it all depends on if the other people are having a good or bad day. And obviously it varies who I'm sparring against. But ultimately it's not about hurting each other, it's not about knocking each other out. We're all there to learn and get stronger and stronger at boxing. So yeah, as I've said before, all the sparring and stuff is all very respectful, and yeah, just really good. I'm not a fighter at all naturally, like quite the opposite. I've lived a life, especially when I was younger, well, even into adulthood, where I've always been a bit of a coward. Like I'll avoid confrontation at all times, like whatever it takes. I've got myself in situations where I've made myself look really stupid avoiding confrontation. It's not something I'm proud of, like, at all. So getting in the ring, even though it is just sparring, is a big thing for me. I'm very introverted, so it is a big thing for me to get in the ring. But it is getting more and more comfortable the more that I do it, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's funny though, today Joe said at one point, he's like, right, everyone done, and I just assumed that was it. And in them times he normally gives people the opportunity to have another round or two if they want to, but yeah, I just said, yeah, I'm done, that's fine, just thinking it was like over. But then I soon realised that I was the only one that then wasn't sparring. The other 5 carried on. But by that point, I'd walked over to the bags and I was doing bag work with the rest of it. So, it was absolutely fine. I wasn't going to turn around and say, oh, well, if I'm the only one, I'm going to get back in the ring. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not that ego driven at all. And as I say, because naturally I am an introvert and naturally it is very uncomfortable for me to jump in the ring, I suppose in that moment, once I've decided that I'm done, then I'm done, but yeah, boxing was really cool today. Got absolutely obliterated in terms of getting knackered and whatnot. And yeah, I just feel like I'm getting stronger and stronger every session. I mean, when I take a step back and look back at a session, in the moment, in the session, I just feel like I'm dying, and I'm just, gritting my teeth and, running on determination and stubbornness, really. But, that's what it's all about. It's all about pushing yourself beyond that point that you would have previously seen as, beyond possible, and I feel like in my boxing classes I push way past the point of what I could get myself to get to, by working out, if you know what I mean. Having the boxing coach there egging you on, and being in an environment with a load of other people that are trying to better themselves, whether it be just fitness or whether it be some of the guys that are literally trying to be boxers, like the 2 youngsters that were in there with us today. Yeah, it's just an awesome atmosphere. I've never really been in atmospheres much growing up, unfortunately, where you're in a group of people that are all trying to better themselves and all trying to egg each other on. I just didn't really have groups of people like that I used to knock about with. It was more about chilling out and having fun and ignoring the fact that you're not bettering yourself at all. But there you go. I'm glad that I do live a life now where I am trying to better myself day by day. And you know what? It's absolutely awesome. It's funny, actually, one of the youngsters in there today, I didn't see exactly what happened, but he was really rolling, to the point where at times his head is only a couple of feet off the ground, and he's like facing down, you know, like while he's sort of, you know, moving around and stuff. And the coach was saying to him, that's no good, you're facing the floor, like, you know, and it is no good. If you're that far down and someone susses out what you're doing, it's not hard for them to just, you know, crack you at like a hook or whatever while you're down. And you know, it's not very good, is it? Like, but yeah, I think something must have happened. He must have got caught whilst he was doing that, and then he sort of got the ump of himself. And then at the end of the session, he looked like he had the ump, and I witnessed like the coach sort of saying to him, listen, you know, don't get down about it. Don't get the ump about it. That's what this is all about. You know, you'll learn from it. Go home, think about it, learn from it, and come back and be better next time. You know, I sort of admired how Coach Joe approached that. You know, he's got a young lad in front of him. You know, he's got to, you know, instill that warrior mentality in him, but also be there to sort of like pick him up when he is down. You know, there's a balance, you know, and it's like a sign of a good coach. You know, you've got to be willing to sort of have a go when you need to like tell people they're doing wrong and like encourage them. But then at the same time, you've got to also be there to sort of like make your students put things in perspective, you know, because ultimately your job as a coach is to turn people into better boxers, right? So, yeah, it was just really cool how he handled that situation, like, and, yeah, it just made me have like a lot more respect for Coach Joe. You know, the coaches at my boxing class, they're all awesome. Like, you know, I literally think about it sometimes. I think, yeah, they've literally changed my life. They've been a big part of me changing my life. No, I've got utmost respect for the boxing coaches at the boxing club, and that's the way it should be. But yeah, after boxing, I came home and quickly had a shower, and then me and Kat went to our sort of local shopping centre, and yeah, we had the aim of sorting out my phone. I decided to get a new phone on a new network. I'm actually going to go on Tesco network. So, you know, we needed to do some shopping at Tesco's anyway. But first, I went to see if I could get some new boxing boots because, yeah, the ones that I've had for about 8 months now, I'll show you. Yeah, the sole just keeps like peeling off, and I've glued it down so many times with Araldite, which is fine. You know, the surface they've got in the boxing gym, it kind of reminds me of like what they have in some sort of kids playgrounds, kind of like tarmac but more soft, you know, like rubbery sort of thing. And obviously they've got a ring like with the canvas or whatever, but you know, the rest of it is made up with this stuff. And yeah, it just makes the soles of the boxing shoes just peel off, and it's fine. I kept gluing it down, but what I noticed the other day is there's literally a bit missing here. So yeah, it was time to get a new pair. So went into the shop today to try and get a new pair, and decided to get Lonsdale ones because they're cheaper. Because if the floor in that gym is going to keep ruining them, then I'll just get cheap ones. And they look like they had a sole on them that was a little bit more hard wearing than them. But the actual ones that I wanted, they're phasing out, and the sort of new versions of them same Lonsdale ones have got a sole similar to those Adidas ones. So I sort of left it, and I thought I'll try and find another branch of Sport and Soccer to see if they've still got some of the old ones in my size. And yeah, hopefully I can get them. But yeah, they're not cheap. I mean, these Adidas ones, I think they're like 90 quid or something. I got them for my birthday last year. But yeah, Lonsdale ones, I'm trying to get like 50 quid, I think, or something. But anyway, so wasn't able to get the boxing shoes. Then me and Kat went and had this like salad. It's like a tortilla place. They do like burritos and wraps and whatnot, but we had you know, basically without the wrap, so like a salad bowl sort of thing, and that was cool. And then we went to Tesco's, and I managed to sort my phone, but they're gonna post it to me. Yeah, one thing I did notice today, like, you know, walking around the shopping centre, just in general, like, you know, feeling like I'm getting fitter, feeling like I'm bigger, like, you know, I just walk around with like so much more confidence now, walking around with my head up, like, you know, just feeling more comfortable in the world and more comfortable in my skin, like, and it's just awesome that being fitter and being a better human being has given me that reward, that I now just feel way more comfortable in the world. Like, I walk around with my head up, like, I walk around feeling good that, you know, I look half decent and that I feel half decent, you know, even though I do desperately need a beard and a hair trim. But yeah, it's just something I noticed today. And the way I was thinking about it is like, you when I used to go out and stuff, like sniffing loads of cocaine, a lot of the time, the reason that I used to feel that I couldn't go out without taking drugs was because it gave me that confidence, because it made me sort of feel more comfortable in my skin. It sort of solved every issue of mine, turned me into an extrovert. I was able to go and talk to people. I felt more alive, more confident, like, less of an introvert. And it's mad how, like, putting all this work in, day by day by day, turning myself into a stronger human being, making myself look and feel better, is kind of slowly but surely rewarding me with everything that drugs ever gave me. Like, it's just that it takes a lot more hard work, whereas, sniffing a load of gear is no hard work at all, is it? It's just an easy way to make yourself feel like you're gaining all these things when you actually aren't. And it's just a temporary fake state, isn't it? And then, to pay that back the next day or days, you end up feeling like absolute shit. Whereas, me living this life now, like I say, noticed I was walking around today, spent the day with my girlfriend, walking around the shopping centre, feeling great, feeling proud of myself, feeling like I look well, walking around with my head up, feeling like nothing in the world can take me down, knowing that I've, spent my sort of lunchtime on today, going to boxing, challenging myself, putting myself in the ring against other people, walking around feeling awesome. But tomorrow I'm not going to have to wake up and feel like absolute shit, for the next few days to pay it back like I would have back in the day when I used to go out and use drugs. So, yeah, it was just something that I sort of noticed I was thinking about today. And, I don't spend a lot of time going to shopping centres and walking around with a cat. I am always like busy and at it. I'm either, around the garage doing what I need to, or I've got my head in my MacBook. So yeah, it was really cool today to just walk around shopping centre with cat, looking for some new boxing boots and just, take note of how I was feeling. But, once we got back from that, we actually had to go and visit some of Kat's family, like, because it's Easter and whatnot. They're dropping off Easter eggs to them. They're giving us Easter eggs. And, then literally got back. And as I say, it was already sort of coming up to 10 to 9 when I turned this camera on. But one thing I do want to do this evening before dinner, I know Kat's waiting to cook dinner. We're having pork chops. I do want to quickly bang out an arm and chest session. Seems like I do a lot of arm and chest. And as I've been saying recently, I do have some pains in my shoulders and my elbows and stuff, but not enough that realistically I'm in danger of not doing my arm and chest session here at home that I've got written on my workout plan. I am going to, not go mad. It is late. I have got these niggly injuries, but I just want to do some bench press, which will cover, the chest and the triceps, you could say, and then I'll just do some hammer bicep curls to cover the biceps. 2 sets of each, just 2 exercises, 2 sets of each. It's not going to take long, is it? Everyone's got enough time in their day to spend 10 minutes having a quick workout. So that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to jump in the shower and then it's dinner time. Pork chops. My girlfriend does a mean pork chops. Had a couple of eggs with mine, obviously. Loads of healthy vegetables. And what are these? Chips? Yeah. We don't eat chips.
Saturday, bro.
Alright. Using the weekend as an excuse. Sound familiar?